Alpen Pharmaceuticals in association with Higher Secondary Principals Forum.
Hello students, myself teacher Vidya from Dr. K.B. Hedgewar Higher Secondary, and I welcome you all for the lecture series of Prudent Scholars. So today in accountancy lecture we are going to focus on the topic death of the partner. So today's topic is death of partner. Now previous to this topic you have studied the topic that is retirement of the partner. So today we will explore the topic death of a partner. Now all of us we know that death is inevitable. We never know when a person can die. So it can happen, let us suppose there are three partners A, B and C. This is an example we are taking here. Let us suppose one of the partner from the partnership firm he dies. So what is the next? So suppose if any one of the partner from the partnership firm he dies or he expires, then the entire partnership firm it gets dissolved. Okay? But still the remaining partners have the option to continue the partnership firm. So in such case the partner who dies is called as deceased partner and the remaining partners are called as continuing partners. Okay students, I am repeating, the partner who dies is called as deceased partner and the remaining partners are called as continuing partners. Now, even if the partner is dead, it is ethically as well as it is legally required that we have to give him his share in the partnership firm. Is it clear? Even if the partner is dead, we have to find out his share in the partnership firm. But the question is, the partner is no more. So what is the next? Partner is no more, he is not alive. So in such case, all the rights of the deceased partner are transferred to legal representative or executor. Is it clear? All the rights of the partner, deceased partner, are transferred to legal representative or his executor. Now, it is very important in the death of the partner in this topic, we have to find out how much amount is due to the executor. How much amount is due to the legal representative or executor. So how do we find it out? So we can find out the amount due to the executor by preparing deceased partner's capital account. So here we have to prepare whose account? We have to prepare C's capital account. In fact students, we prepare normally what we do? We prepare the capital account of all the partners, right? We will be preparing the account of A, partner's account, A's account, B's account and C. Now why I am focusing here on C? Because when you prepare the deceased partner account, you will come to know amount due to the executor. Okay? Now, when you are preparing deceased partner's capital account, let us move on to the next one. When you are preparing deceased partner's capital account, all of you, we have to find out credit and the debit. So first let us divide this into two parts. First let us study all the credits. Okay? So A is we are going to study the items which will be credited to the deceased partner's capital account. And what this exactly means? These are those amounts the executor of deceased partner is entitled for. I am repeating, we have to study credits as well as the debits. So first we will study all the items that are credited to the deceased partner's capital account. So these are the items the executor of the deceased partner is entitled for. Now all of us you have studied partner's capital account. All of us we know that the amounts which increase the partner's capital balance are credited and the amounts which decrease the partner's capital balance they are debited, right? So now we will focus on A part. So let us see the items one by one. First one is credit balance in his capital account as per last year balance sheet. So always what we do, the last year's balance we transfer, correct? By balance brought down or to balance brought down. So if the last year's balance, it shows the credit balance, it will come in the new year as by balance brought down, right? So this will be first credited. So when I am explaining, you can visualize the partner's capital account, right? Because you have already studied partner's capital account. Next, share in the reserves and accumulated profits. This also you have studied. What happens if you have accumulated reserves or if you have profits, all this accumulated reserves and profits, they are distributed among all the partners, correct? So that share also the executor is entitled for, and where it will come? It will come on the credit side of partner's capital account. Next one, share of revaluation profit. You all have studied revaluation account, right? You have studied revaluation account in admission of the partner, retirement of the partner. What is revaluation account? It is profit and loss adjustment account which you prepare, which records revaluation of assets and liabilities, correct? So when you balance it and you find out revaluation profit, that is shared among the partners, right? Revaluation profit, and it comes on the credit side. So deceased partner is also entitled for share of revaluation profit. Next, share of goodwill. This is very important. Now even if the deceased partner, now he is not alive, but he has worked or he also has put efforts in bringing up the goodwill of the firm. So he is also entitled for share of goodwill. Next one, share of joint life policy. If the firm has assured the lives of the partners by taking joint life policy, and even if now deceased partner means he is not alive, but still who is entitled? His executor is entitled for share of joint life policy. Next, this is very important, which we need to focus when we are solving the problem. Share of profit from beginning of current financial year to the date of death. Now what is the meaning of this point? I have already told you, death is uncertain. We never know person can die. Let us say your financial year begins on 1st January, okay? And it will end obviously on 31st December. But suppose if the partner dies on the 1st of March, even if the partner dies in the middle of the year, he is there in the partnership firm for how many months? He is there for 2 months. So from the beginning of the financial year till the date of death, this partner is entitled for share of profit even if he has worked for 2 months in that partnership firm. Okay? Then next one, the amount of interest on capital, salary or any other remuneration, if any, to the date of death. So till the date of death, suppose if the partnership did, it provides for any interest on capital, salary, remuneration, all this will be credited to whose account? Deceased partner's capital account. Is it clear, students? So these are all the items which will be credited to deceased partner's capital account. So this is your A part. Now we will see B part. Okay? We will move on to the next one, B. Now following amounts will be charged from the executors. So these are the amounts which are charged from executor. So this is B part, and these are, in other words, what does amount stand for? These are the amounts which are debited to which account? Deceased partner's capital account. All of us we know that any amounts which decrease the partner's capital balance, that comes on which side? It comes on the debit side. So let us check the items one by one. First one, debit balance in his capital account as per last year's balance sheet. So suppose if your last year balance sheet, if it shows the debit balance, when you show it in the partner's capital account, how it will come, students? To balance brought down. Very simple. Next one, drawings. if the deceased partner has made any drawings, if he has withdrawn any amount, then this will decrease the partner's capital balance, and where it will come? It will come on the debit side. And suppose if the deed provides for any interest on drawings, it will be also charged from the partner. Okay? So this will come on which side? It will come on the debit side. Next one is share of revaluation loss. You have already studied what is revaluation account. You already know what is revaluation profit and revaluation loss. If it is revaluation profit, it comes on the credit side. If it is revaluation loss, it is borne by all the three partners, which comes on which side? Debit side. Then the next one is share of goodwill written off. If you already have the goodwill in your balance sheet and if it is written off, okay, then that share will be also debited on which side? It will be debited, it will be shown on the debit side. Amount will be shown on the debit side. Okay, it means the old goodwill is there. The goodwill is there in the balance sheet, previous goodwill. When it is written off, correct, all of us we know. It will come on which side? It will come on the debit side. Okay, then next one, share of accumulated loss. Just as we share the accumulated profits among the partners, accumulated losses also the partners have to bear. So that's why accumulated loss will come on which side? Debit side. In fact, students, you have studied this goodwill written off, revaluation loss, all these items you have already studied, and you have also prepared also partners capital account. This is a revision for you. Next one is share of loss from beginning of current financial year to the date of death. Now in the previous slide I told you, suppose if the financial year it starts on 1st of January, right? And partner dies on 1st of March. So what we do, students? Even if the partner is there for the 2 months, we give him share of profit, right? Similarly, now this is loss. Share of profit will be on the credit side. Similarly, if the financial year starts on 1st January, partner dies on 1st March. And in that, suppose if there is a loss, then the executor has to bear the loss. Okay, this amount is charged from him and all these amounts are debited to which account? Deceased partner's capital account. So you have studied A and you have studied B. Now, what is our main purpose of preparing deceased partner's capital account? We have to find out amount which is due to the executor. This is the most important thing in the debt. So how we find out? This is your A, which I have explained you just now, and this is your B. So difference between A and B, correct? That is the amount which the executor is entitled for, and the B, the amounts which are charged from the executor. The difference between this is the amount which is being payable to the executor. Is it clear? So to executor's account. So this is the amount which we transfer to the executor. I am repeating, this is the amount which is entitled for, correct, executor. These are the amounts which are charged from him, and the difference is the amount which is due to the executor. I hope, students, you all have understood till here. Very simple topic. We will move on to the next part. Okay? Now, in fact, I'll tell you the debt topic is very simple because it is a revision for you. What you all have studied in retirement, it is almost same adjustments are there in the debt. So it's a revision for you. Let us just revise very quickly which are the adjustments which you have already studied in the retirement. Okay? So these are the accounting treatments which are similar in retirement as well as debt. First one is revaluation of assets and liability. Now you all are used to this. You prepare profit and loss adjustment account, or it is called as revaluation account, correct? So revaluation account is a nominal account. All that you have studied, decrease in asset, increase in liability. So this remains same in which account? Debt of the partner. Next one, calculation of new ratio and gain ratio. This also you have studied in the retirement. It also remains same in the debt. You have also studied what is gain ratio. What is gain ratio? Gain ratio, it is the ratio in which the remaining partners or the continuing partners, they gain the share of the deceased partner. I need not repeat, it is exactly the same which you have studied in the retirement. So gain share is new share minus old share, and new share is equal to old share plus gaining share. You have already studied it. Then treatment of goodwill is also the same which you have studied in retirement. Now what you studied, what I have told you, in order to bring the goodwill of the firm, who has put in the efforts? Right, deceased partner has also put in the efforts. So deceased partner also, we give him the share of goodwill. And how we give him the share of goodwill? By adjusting whose account? Continuing partners capital account, correct? So what is the entry? This is you have studied. Entry is continuing partners capital account debit to deceased partners capital account. In retirement you take retiring partner. So here instead of that you take which partner? Deceased partner, and this you do in which ratio? Gain ratio, right students? Okay. Suppose if the goodwill is already existing in the balance sheet. So what you do with the goodwill? You write off the goodwill, and what is the entry? All the partners capital account debit to goodwill, because you are writing off the goodwill, and you do this in which ratio? You do this in the old ratio, right? Is it clear? So this adjustments will remain same in case of the death, okay? Now we will move on to the next topic. I told you that the retirement and death adjustments are same. But what is the exact difference? Very simple. Let us see the difference between retirement of partner and death of the partner. Okay? Now retirement of the partner. Retirement normally takes place at the end of the accounting period. Very simple. All of us we know. In case of retirement, partner knows when he will retire. So it normally takes place when? At the end of the accounting period. Whereas what about the death? Death, as I have told you, it is uncertain. It can happen any time. So that's why death of the partner can occur any time. Right? Simple. Then in retirement, the claim is transferred to whose account? Retiring partner's capital account, because the partner is still alive. When the partner retires, all the claim, that is amount due to him, is transferred to his loan account itself. And for example, C retires, amount will be transferred to C's loan account itself. Whereas what happens in case of death? The claim is transferred to his executor account. This we have already studied just now. It is transferred to his executor account, or it is transferred to the legal representative. Okay? Students, now we will move on to the next part. Okay? The next one is very important, calculation of deceased partner's share of profit. This I am been repeating again and again. What I told you, the death is uncertain. Partner can die at any time. So what is important? Right from the financial year till the date of death, we have to give him his share of profit. Correct? Now, financial accounts, can we do it from the actual profit? No. For example, if your financial year starts on 1st January, accounts are ending on 31st December. Correct? So presently you don't have the actual profit. Do you have the actual profit of this year? No. So what you do, right from the 1st January, if the partner is dead on 1st March, he dies in the middle of the year. So you don't have actual profit, so you cannot give him share from the actual profit. So here you have to use, in order to give him his share, that is deceased partner's share, you have to use 3 different approaches. When we will solve the problem, you will understand in a more better way. Okay? First one is based on previous year's profit. Next, based on average profit. And third one, based on turnover or sale. Okay? So we will start with the small illustrations, you will understand. First one is based on previous year's profit. So students, we will start first illustration. See here, X, Y and Z are partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 3:2:1. So you are already given the ratio. What is the ratio given to you? You are given the ratio 3:2:1. Why dies on 30th June? One more thing students, remember, in the death of the partner, correct? The date of death is very important because your calculations are based on it. Date is very important. Now why dies on 30th June? Okay? The profits for the year ending 31st March 2016 is rupees 36,000. So your previous year, it ends on 31st March 2016. Your current year will start from when? 1st April 2016. Now partner dies on which date? 30th June 2016. Correct? So how you find out the share of profit? The formula for it is, you have to find out whose share, which partner is dead, Y is dead. So Y share of profit, you don't have this year's profit, actual profit. You are using, what is the base you are using here? Last year's profit. So last year's profit into his share. His means whose share? Y share and proportionate period. Very simple. Let us see how it is done. What is the last year's profit? You are given 36,000. So you have to take last year's profit 36,000. What is the share of Y? Here you are given 3:2:1. So if you check here, what is the Y share? Y share will be 2/6, and next is proportionate period. How to calculate proportionate period? Your year has ended on 31st March 2016. So and the current financial year is from 1st April 2016. So from 1st April to 30th June, April, May and June. So he is there for how many months? 3 months. So 3 months is 3/12. Is it clear? And your answer comes to 3,000. Clear? Very simple. Now what is the base we have taken? We have taken the base previous year. Okay students? Now we will move on to the next problem. Okay? We will move on to the next problem. Calculation of deceased partner's share of profit based on average profit. Now what is average profit? You all already know. Correct? What is average profit? You take the total profits of last so many years and you find out the average. Very simple. Okay, let us see the illustration. A, B and C are partners sharing in the ratio of 4:3:3. Which partner dies here? B dies. So here you are given which partner dies? B dies on which date? 1st September 2016. I told you date is very important. They agreed to calculate deceased partner's profit of the current year. So current year's profit we don't have. So how we find out? On the basis of average profit of last 3 years. So here you are given the profits of last 3 years and you have to find out average profit. So see here, you are given the profits for 31st March 2014, 2015 and 16, 40,000, 54,000 and 62,000 respectively. So very simple. So now let us compute the total profit first. So how you calculate total profit? Total profit is 40,000 plus 54,000 plus 62,000, it comes to 1,56,000. Now how to calculate average profit? You are given 3 years. So 1,56,000 divided by 3, it comes to 52,000. And now we have to find out whose share of profit? B dies. So how we will find out here B share of profit? Here you will take what is the base? Average profit, not previous year's profit, average profit into his share into proportionate period. So what is average profit? 52,000. What is the share of B? The share of B is, right, 3/10. And what is the proportionate period? Now see here. Year ends on 31st March 2016 and from the current year, 1st April, May, June, July, August. He dies on 1st September. So what is the proportionate period? 5 months. So that's why 52,000 into 3/10 into 5/12. Your answer comes to 6,000 500. Okay? Now, we will move on to the next one. So, we have seen two approaches. First one is based on previous year's profit, second is based on average profit, and the third is based on the turnover or sales. So, now we will move on to the next problem. Calculation of deceased partner's share of profit based on sales. Now, what do you mean by sales? Turnover. Directly we will move on to the illustration. X, Y and Z are partners sharing in the ratio of 2:2:1. Y dies on 30th June 2017. So, if you want, you can see here, you are told who dies? Y dies on 30th June, correct? Sales and profit for the year ended 31st March 2017 were 2 lakh and 4 lakh respectively. Sorry, 2 lakh and 40,000 respectively. The sales from 1st April 2017 to 30th June 2017 were 60,000. Calculate Y share of profit. So, all of us we know that which partner dies here? Y dies. So, we have to calculate whose share of profit? Y share of profit, and what is the base? Based on sales. So, whatever is given here, I have summed up here, you can check it. Now, your year was ending on 31st March 2017. For that year, your sales were 2 lakh, right? And the profit is given 40,000. The same data I am putting up here, okay? Now, the partner, your current financial year starts from where? 1st April, and the partner dies on 30th June 2017. So, you want profit only for this period. And how do you find the profit? Based on the sales. So, how to find out what information is provided to you? Till 31st March 2007, your sales are 2 lakh, profit is 40,000. For this period, that is from 1st April to 30th June, how much is the sales? 60,000. So, how we will find out the profit? You have to do the proportionate, you have to use the proportionate method. Sales are 2 lakh, profit is 40,000. Sales are 60,000, what is the profit? Very simple, I am repeating. Sales are 2 lakh, profit is 40,000. For this period we want the profit. So, what is given to you? Sales is given to you. So, the turnover is given to you. Based on that, how you can find out the profit? Very simple, correct? 40,000 into 60,000 divided by 2. This is the proportionate. Proportionate of profit to sales we have taken, and if sales is 60,000, what is the profit? Very simple. Cross multiplication, how much is the profit you get from 1st April to 30th June? The answer you get 12,000. Now, this is the profit. Now, we do not want only profit, we require whose share? We require the share of deceased partner, right? Who is the deceased partner here? Y. So, what is the share of Y? 2:2:1. What is the share of Y? Share of Y is 2/5. So, what is the Y share of profit? 12,000 into 2/5. Your answer is 4,800. Is it clear, students? Okay. So, students, we have already seen the 3 approaches which are used for calculating the deceased partner's share of profit, right? Now, we will move on to the next concept, that is the preparation of loan account. So, this is also a revision for you. You have already studied the preparation of loan account in retirement. What happens in case of retirement? We prepare the loan account of partner itself. And here in death, what happens? The partner is not alive. So, here we prepare whose loan account? We prepare his executor's loan account. We will start with the illustration. It will be more clear to you. Okay? Yes. So, we will start with the illustration. See, students, A, B and C are partners in a firm, right? On 31st March 2015, A passed away. So, who is the deceased partner? A is the deceased partner. His capital account shows a credit balance of 30,000. So, in deceased partner's capital account, credit balance is 30,000. It was agreed between continuing partners. Who are the continuing partners, students? A and B, right? to settle the dues. Whose dues you have to settle here? You have to settle the dues, that is amount which is payable to the executor in 2 equal annual installments carrying interest at the rate of 10% per annum. Prepare ACE executor loan account till it is fully settled. Now here loan account exactly remains same as you have done in the retirement. Now remember students, when you are preparing the executor's loan account or the retiring partner's account, 3 things are important. First, you should know what is the outstanding balance. You should know what is the rate of interest. Now the rate of interest is given to you. How much is the rate of interest given to you? 10%. You should know how many installments. Okay? Installments also you are given to you 2 installments. Sometimes it can be 3, sometimes it can be 4, and you should know the frequency of payment. That is whether it is paid annually, annually means after 1 year, whether it is paid half yearly means after 6 months, or whether it is paid quarterly after 3 months. So this data should be important. Okay? Now, if you read this problem, you are given how much is there, what is the credit balance in the ACE account? 30,000. So this 30,000 will be transferred to executor's account. We'll start with the problem. Okay? So ACE executor's account, you have already started in this retirement. Same way we are doing. Date, particulars amount, date, particulars amount. So first let us see how much is the outstanding balance in the account. Correct? This amount, outstanding balance is, partner dies on 31st March. So we have opened the account on the next day, 1st April 2015. How much is the balance? This amount you got from ACE capital account, that is deceased partner's capital account to executor's loan. So in executor's loan it is by deceased partner's account. So by ACE capital account, how much is there? 30,000. Now there are how many installments? 2 installments. Now there are only 2 entries you have to pass. First you have to calculate interest due. Now when you calculate interest due, what is the entry? Interest account debit to executor's loan account. Same way it's a revision for you as you have done in the retirement. So interest account debit to executor's loan account. Correct? Now first you have to calculate how much is interest due. Now how we will calculate interest due? How much is the outstanding balance? 30,000. On 30,000, how much is the rate of interest? 10%. And I told you, which is very important, is frequency of payment, means the period. Are you given annually, annually, quarterly or half yearly? So here you are told annually. So your interest will fall due after 1 year. So after 1 year means what is the date? 31st March 2016. You have to calculate interest due. So how much is the interest? It is 30,000, right? 10% and annually, so 12 upon 12. So your interest comes to 3,000. So you have calculated interest. Now what is the next step? You have calculated interest. Now you have to make the payment of installments. So when you make the installment, what is the entry? Executor's account debit to bank account, right? And on which day you have to make the installment? Same day, 31st March 2016. Now this also you all know, installment consists of 2 parts. It consists of principal amount plus it consists of interest. I am repeating, installment consists of 2 parts. It consists of principal amount plus interest. Now you have 30,000. So 30,000 you are giving in 2 installments. So one installment, how much it will be? 15,000. If you are giving 30,000 in 3 installment, it will be 30,000 divided by 3, 10,000. So here how it will come? When you make the payment, executor's account debit to bank, you are making the payment. This is the installment. It consists of principal amount. How much is the principal amount? 15,000. Why 15,000? 30,000 is divided into 2 installment. 30,000 divided by 2 plus interest. How much is the interest? 3,000. So how much is the amount of installment you have made? 18,000. First installment is done. So let us balance the account. Okay, and how much is the outstanding balance left? 15,000 is the outstanding balance which is left in the account, which you have to clear in the second installment. When your second installment will start? This balance is brought down 1st April 2016. How much is the balance? Balance brought down 15,000, right? Now again on this amount you have to calculate the interest. Annually means it will be on now 31st March 2017. Okay. So on 31st March 2017, how we will calculate interest? 15,000 multiplied by 10%, because rate is 10%, annually means 12 upon 12. So your answer comes to 1,500. Second entry, when you make the payment of installment, what is the entry? Executor's loan account debit to bank account, installment. In each installment, there is principal amount plus interest. So how much is the amount? 15,000. How much is the interest? 1,500. So it comes to 16,500. And if you check here, there is no outstanding balance left. Your loan account is settled in how many installments? 2 installments. Okay. Now we will move on to the next problem. So students, now we will move on to the full-fledged problem. Okay. Now one thing please remember, when you have the full-fledged problem, or it may be any problem, always it is advisable that you go through the problem thoroughly before you start solving, because you get an idea which type of adjustments are there, okay, which accounts you are told to prepare, so you get rough idea. Okay. So we will start. First we will read the complete problem. Following is the balance sheet of Lina and Tina sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 2:2:1. So here you are given which ratio? You are given old ratio. Balance sheet is given. Liability side you have capital accounts, reserves, sundry creditors. Asset side you have premises, machinery, you have investment, sundry debtors, closing stock, cash at bank, right? Let us see the adjustment. Tina died on 1st October. So this date, I am repeating again, date is very important because it helps us in doing the adjustments. Partnership did provided the following. First one, deceased partner is entitled to her share of goodwill of the firm calculated on the basis of 3 years of purchase of average profit of last 4 years. Profit for the last 4 years is given 31st March 2014, 15, 16 and 17. So here you have to calculate the goodwill. So you got the idea, goodwill is not given to you directly. Next, Tina is entitled to her share of profit till the date of death based on previous year's profit. So this you have already learned. When you give the share to the partner, share of profit, there are 3 approaches. So here you are given previous year's profit. That is also simple. Next one, you are given revaluation of assets and liabilities. Premises are valued at 4 lakh, depreciate machinery at 10%. Unrecorded claim of creditors amounted to 30,000. Interest on capital is allowed at 10% per annum. Drawings of the deceased partner up to the date of death amounted to 45,000. Continuing partners agreed to pay 27,900 immediately to the executor, and the balance in 2 equal half yearly installment with interest at a rate of 12% per annum on outstanding balance. What you are told to prepare? Revaluation account, partners capital account, and you are told to prepare Tina's executor's loan account. So students, that's why I told you to read the problem. Balance sheet is not asked, you are told to prepare executor's loan account. So once you have read the problem, you got an idea which type of amounts or which type of adjustments are there. So let's start with the problem. Okay. Now, so we have opened 3 accounts: revaluation account, partners capital account, and third one is Tina's executor loan account. Now these are the items I have marked here because when you solve the problem in line, you get an idea which items are having adjustment. So I have opened all the 3 accounts. We'll begin with the problem. Slowly we'll do one by one. First we'll go from the liability side. You have first capital accounts. So these are the opening balances. Liabilities have credit balance, so it will come here by balance brought down. If it is given on asset side, it will come here to balance brought down, right? Simple thing. So it will be by balance brought down. Lina is 1,80,000, Reena is 3 lakh and Tina is again 1,20,000, right? Next, reserves. Very simple adjustment. When you have accumulated reserves or profits, what you all do, students? You distribute among the partners in the old ratio. How much is the reserves? 1,50,000 when you have accumulated reserves. That also increases partners balance. So anything which increases partners balance comes on the credit side. Simple. How much is the amount? 1,50,000 distribute in the old ratio. What is the ratio? 2:2:1. So 1,50,000 into 2 upon 5. Again 1,50,000 into 2 upon 5 and 1,50,000 into 1 upon 5. Distributed among the partners. Simple. Till here we have done? Yes. Next one you have sundry creditors. How much is the sundry creditors? 3 lakh. Now here I have marked it. It shows that there is some adjustment. What is the adjustment? If you see here, you are given unrecorded claim of creditors amounted to 30,000. Now you are told creditors are 3 lakh, but still 30,000 we have not recorded. Correct? Still there is a claim of 30,000 which will increase our liability. Creditors will increase. Correct? First creditors were 3 lakh, now they will increase by 30,000. Increase in liability, it's a loss for us. So where it will come? Very simple. It will come on the debit side of revaluation account, 30,000. You all have studied revaluation account. You all know it very thoroughly. So increase in the liability, it's a loss for us. It will come on the debit side. So we have finished all the items on the liability side. Capital account, reserves and sundry creditors. Now we will go to the asset side. Now suppose if you were given your balance sheet, you would have also posted here the amount simultaneously, but no balance sheet is there. So now we will go for the asset side. Asset side, which is the first item? Premises. How much you are given premises? 3,45,000. You have the adjustment, I have marked it. What is the adjustment? Premises are valued at 4 lakh. So premises were 3,45,000. Now it is valued at 4 lakh. So premises are appreciated. So increase in the asset is what for us? It is gain for us. So increase in the asset will come on which side? Credit side. How much is the increase? 3,45,000 it was earlier and now it is valued at how much? 4 lakh. So it is increased by 55,000. Then next one, machinery. How much is machinery? 1,05,000. You are told machinery is depreciated by 10%. Depreciate is decrease in the asset. It's a loss for us. So decrease in the asset will come on which side? It will come on the debit side. It is decreased by 10%. So 10,500. Now investment, sundry debtors, closing stock, cash at bank, they will remain as it is. There is no adjustment for it and they will appear in the same value in the balance sheet. But we are not preparing the balance sheet, right? So investment, sundry debtors, closing stock, cash at bank, it will not, they will appear in the balance sheet at the same value, but since we are not preparing the balance sheet here, we will move on to the next part. So liabilities side, all the items we have taken. Assets side, all the items we have taken. Now we will move on to the adjustments. First one, deceased partner is entitled to her share of goodwill. Now first we have to calculate total goodwill. So how you calculate total goodwill? You have already studied there are different methods, average profit method, super profit method. Here we are using average profit method, right? So average profit is total profit upon number of years. How you will calculate total profit? You are given 4 years, 2014, 15, 16 and 17. So divided by 4, it comes to 1,50,000. This is your average profit. Now what is the formula? Goodwill is equal to average profit into number of purchase years. How much is number of purchase years given to you? 3 years. So 1,50,000 into 3, it comes to 4,50,000. Now my dear students, 4,50,000, it is the total goodwill. Don't take total goodwill. We have to take whose share? Deceased partner share. Who is the deceased partner? Tina. What is Tina's share? 1/5. So what is the answer? 90,000. Now this 90,000 is the share of Tina, which we have to adjust by debiting whose account? Debiting continuing partners account. Who are the continuing partners? Lina and Rina. So what is the entry? Lina's account debit, Rina's account debit to whose account? Tina's account. And this 90,000 you have to adjust in which ratio? Gain ratio. How to calculate gain ratio? Gain ratio is equal to new ratio minus old ratio. This you have already studied in detail. Gain ratio is new ratio minus old ratio. Old ratio you already have. How to calculate new ratio when no other information is given? 2:2:1. Old ratio. Which partner he dies? Tina dies. So if you drop the share of Tina, what is the ratio? 2:2 is the new ratio. When you simplify it, it becomes 1:1. Right? So the new ratio of Lina and Rina, it becomes 1:1. Correct? You know this. Drop the share of Tina. Lina and Rina's ratio, new ratio is 2:2. Simplify it, it becomes 1:1. Now next, how we will calculate gain ratio? New ratio minus old ratio. So how much is new ratio for Lina? 1:1 means 1/2 minus old share. What is the old share? 2/5. 1/10. Again for Rina, 1:1 it is there. So 1/2 minus what is Rina's share? 2/5. So it comes to 1/10. This you all know, correct? So I did not revise it again. This you all have studied already. So gain ratio is 1:1. So this 90,000 will be distributed as 45,000 and 45,000, half, 1:1. So what is the final entry? Lina's account debit 45,000, Rina's account debit 45,000 to Tina's capital account 90,000. So which we have posted here, correct? Now, correct? This is the entry which we have posted here. I hope you all have understood the goodwill because it's a revision for you. So the first adjustment is done. Next, Tina is entitled to her share of profit up to the date of death based on previous year's profit. This illustrations you have already solved. Now how we will find out Tina's share based on previous year's profit? So what is the formula? Formula is previous year's profit multiplied by Tina's share multiplied by proportionate period. How much is the previous year's profit? Here you are given 4 years. So which is the previous year? 31st March 2017. 2,40,000 is given. So previous year's profit is 2,40,000. How much is Tina's share? 1/5. And how much is the proportionate period? Here 31st March 2017, your balance sheet is given. Current year starts from 1st April. So April, May, June, July, August, September. Partner dies on 1st October. So total how many months? 6 months. So it comes to 6/12. What is the answer? 24,000. Now, how we will pass the journal entry? You have already studied the same adjustment in retirement. When the retiring partner he receives the share of profit, your entry is profit and loss suspense account debit to retiring partner's capital account. So here what is the entry? Profit and loss suspense account debit to deceased partner's capital account. So in deceased partner's capital account, it will come by profit and loss suspense account 24,000. What is profit and loss suspense account? Why it is prepared? What is its purpose? How we balance it? We are going to take one more problem and we are going to explore it in detail. Presently, you all know the entry. When the partner is entitled for share of profit, what is the entry? Profit and loss account, suspense account debit to deceased partner's account. So, in deceased partner, by profit and loss suspense account, same type you have studied in retirement. Now, we have completed the first adjustment, second is done, third is done, now we will go for the fourth one. Interest on capital is allowed at 10% per annum. So, who is given interest on capital? Deceased partner. I have told you, deceased partner, he may receive interest on capital if it is given in the partnership deed. And where it will come? Any amount which increase the partner's capital balance, they are credited. So, by interest on capital, right? Now, how to calculate interest on capital? How much is the Tina's capital? 1,20,000. How much is the percent? 10%. And very important, I am repeating again and again, is you have to take the number of months are very important. In the financial year, partner is there from 1st April 2017 till October. So, here you have to compute the interest on capital only for 6 months. That is from April till October 2017. So, do not take for the full year, only up to the date of death. So, it comes to how much? 6,000. So, answer comes to 6,000. Is it clear? Important is your period. Otherwise, your answer will be wrong. Next, you are given drawing of the deceased partner. Partner has made drawings. So, the drawings will decrease the partner's capital balance. So, anything which decrease partner's capital balance is debited. So, it will be 45,000. So, we have done with this adjustment. Now, the fifth one. Lina and Rina agreed to pay 27,900 immediately to the executor and the balance in 2 equal half yearly installment. So, what is told to you? We have to first find out how much is the amount due to the executor and then we are making some payment immediately. But in order to find out how much amount is due to the executor, we need to balance this account. So, first let us balance the account and then we will proceed with this adjustment. First we will balance revaluation account. Credit side is greater, write the same total. Difference is, how much is the difference? How much is the revaluation profit? 14,500, which is shared among all the 3 partners, Lina, Rina and Tina. In which ratio? In the old ratio. What is the old ratio? 2:2:1. So, for Lina, 2/5 into 14,500. For Rina, 2/5 into 14,500 and for Tina, same way. So, you got the answer, revaluation to partner's capital. So, in partner's capital account, it will be by revaluation account. So, all the adjustment, this account is balanced. Now, we will balance the partner's capital account. So, first we will balance Tina's capital account because Tina is the deceased partner. So, 2,72,900, these are the amount which executor is entitled for. These are the amount which is charged and the difference is transferred to executor's loan account, 2,27,900. So, partner's capital account, deceased partner's capital account debit to executor's loan account. So, in executor's loan account, simultaneously I have posted the entry by Tina's capital account, correct? Because we have to open, we have to prepare whose account? Tina's executor loan account. So, how much is the outstanding balance now? 2,27,900. Now, we will balance the remaining account. Lina, total is credit side. Then same total I have written, 2 balance carried down, 2,08,000. Same way you balance the Rina's account. So, this is the closing balance which will appear in the balance sheet. So, Lina's capital is 2,08,000, the balance, and for Rina it is 3,20,800 which will appear in the liability side as capital accounts. Since we have not prepared the balance sheet, okay, we will do it in the next problem. Now, we will focus on Tina's executor's loan account. You have already seen the illustration, previous illustration. Only you need to know how much is the outstanding balance, how much is the rate of interest, how many installments are there, and you should also know the frequency of payment. So here you have 2,27,900. You are told the continuing partners have agreed to pay 27,900 immediately. So 27,900 is paid immediately. So your balance of the loan account will come down. So how much will be the loan? 2,27,900 minus 27,900. How much is the balance left? 2 lakh. Now you have to calculate the interest. What is the entry? Interest account debit to executor's loan account. So you have to calculate the interest. Now very important, you should know the period. You are told half yearly. So half yearly means after how many months? After 6 months. So your account is opened on 1st October. So when the interest is due, what is the date? Due date? It is October, November, December, January, February, March. So date is very important because you are told half yearly. So how we will calculate the interest? Will you calculate on 2,27,900? No, because you have already paid 27,900. How much is the balance? 2 lakh. So 2 lakh into how much percent? 12%. And how many months? 6 upon 12, because you are told half yearly. I am repeating, 2 lakh, right? 2 lakh is the balance left, because 2,27,900 minus 27,900. 2 lakh into how much percent? 12%, and half yearly. So it is 6 upon 12. So it comes to 12,000. Now we are making the payment of installment. When you pay the installment, as I have told you, it includes principal amount plus it includes interest. Now how much is the balance you had? 2 lakh, because 2,27,900 minus 27,900. 2 lakh was the outstanding balance that you have to clear in 2 installment. So 2 lakh divided by 2, it is 1 lakh. In the previous problem how we did? 30,000 divided by 2, 15,000. So here you have 2 lakh in 2 installments. So 2 lakh divided by 2, 1 lakh. So when you make the installment payment, it will be principal amount plus interest. How much is the interest? 12,000. So your first installment is over. Let us balance it. How much is the balance left? 1 lakh. So next 1st April 2018, by balance brought down, how much? 1 lakh. Now again you have to calculate interest due. What is the date? 1st April. So after 6 months. So it will be September. Okay, remember this is very important. So how we will calculate the interest? On 1 lakh, 1 lakh into 12% into 6 upon 12. It comes to 6,000. When you make the payment of installment to bank account, 1 lakh, because 2 lakh divided by 2 we have done, so it comes to 1 lakh. How much is the interest? 6,000. So this is principal amount plus interest. It comes to 1,06,000. And you can find here no outstanding balances left. Your account is settled. Okay, so this is your full-fledged problem. Okay, we have prepared revaluation account, partners capital account and executors loan account.
Prudent Scholars, powered by Lupin Pharmaceuticals.